Okay, complex fractions. First thing I want to do is show an example of adding fractions. You notice these two fractions have different denominators, and to add fractions, the denominators need to be the same. So you have to find what's called the LCM, right? So what's the LCM for these two fractions? How about BY? So that means I need to get this one to be BY and this one to be BY, and I need to do that by multiplying. So I multiply this by y over y. Y over y is 1, so I multiply the fraction by 1. I'm not changing its value, I'm making it look different. So I get AY over BY plus, what do I multiply this one by? I need to have BY as the bottom. How about by B? Right. So I get BX over BY. Now I can add the tops because I have a common denominator. So now the fraction becomes AY plus BX all over BY. Now, once you have the top of a fraction, if it ever has a plus sign in it, put a grouping symbol around it because you don't want to try and cancel the B out of there and then change the value of the fraction because that would not be correct. All right, so there's adding fractions. Now I have complex fractions. I have two fractions in the top and I have two fractions on the bottom of an expression. So, what do I do? Well, on the top, both bottoms are the same, so I could rewrite that as one fraction. I can add the tops. I can call that x plus 1 over y. Then I have the big fraction bar, and here, both bottoms are the same, so I can add or subtract the top. So now x minus 1 over y. Now I have a complex fraction. Well, the fraction bar has a meaning, and its meaning is division. So it really means this top fraction divided by the bottom fraction. Let's write that out. That's an English sentence I just said. The top fraction divided by the bottom fraction. And then you learned the rules of dividing fractions back in elementary school, and you learned that when you're dividing fractions, the process is to rewrite the problem and change that sign to a multiply. And what do you do to the second fraction? You use its reciprocal. So I rewrite this problem as x plus 1 over y times y over x minus 1. Now remember in the last problem I said if there was ever a plus or minus in a fraction, you should put a grouping symbol around it. Because when you reduce, I need to have exactly the same grouping symbols to cross things out. Are those two exactly the same? No, one's plus 1, one's a minus 1. All right, how about the y's? Are they exactly the same? Yep, so I can reduce those. Final answer, x plus 1 over x minus 1. And I keep that answer. All right, I'm going to clear my board and we'll do one more example. Okay, here. I have two more examples. All right, again, we have a complex fraction. We have the main fraction bar, but then on the top is a fraction. Here we have the main fraction bar. On the top there's a fraction, on the bottom there's not. So, how do we solve this? First of all, I need the top to be one fraction. So make this first one a fraction by putting a 1 underneath it. Now, I need common denominators. What are the common denominators for 1 and x? How can I get them both to be the same using multiplying? Well, I can multiply this one by 1 and this one by x. So now I get x over x plus 1 over x all over 7. Can I call that x plus 1 over x all over 7? You with me so far? And then this means, so let me go up here, it means x plus 1 over x divided by 7. Oh, I need 7 to be a fraction. Put it over 1. Now, x plus 1 over x. Change that to a multiply, and what do I do with that fraction? Right, I use its reciprocal. And then I can simplify by straight across multiplying. What's 1 times x plus 1 over x times 7, or 7x. So the final answer, x plus 1 over 7x. Hey, can I reduce that x with that x? Oh, don't do that. No, no. Leave a parenthesis around it. That'll remind you, if I reduce, I have to have exactly the same parenthesis to reduce. All right, here's one more. Fraction on the top. The bottom's not a fraction. So it's the top, 1 over x, divided by 1 minus x. Well, if this is a fraction, I should make that a fraction. How about divide by 1? Now I have two fractions. What's the rule when you're dividing fractions? Write the first fraction, change the sign to multiply, and then multiply. What's 1 times 1? 1. What's x times 1 minus x? I can go x times 1 minus x. That could be the answer. Some people might write it this way, 1 over x minus x squared. They distributed the x. Both answers are correct. You should be able to do this assignment now, so good luck.